Okay, today is November 30th, 2012, and it's about 9:19 p.m. And I've been looking on YouTube at some videos that people put up of their weight loss journey, and I see that um, that either they lost the weight on their own or they had the lap band or the gastro bypass surgery. And I said, hey, why don't I do my own video and just to see my own journey. Um, well, let's start by saying when I first got on this journey, I had ups and downs. 2005, I had, in the middle of a divorce, I ended up going into a shelter with my two little children, and it was very hard. And the divorce and separation was even more difficult. So you can imagine someone trying to lose weight so they can have surgery, how difficult it was. I had my ups and downs, and I really would beat myself up if I gain even 1 pound. Um, in 2006, in the summer, I came real close to having my surgery, but another event happened. Going to divorce court and child custody court and moving out of the shelter and finally getting a place, I ended up gaining some weight, which really knocked me off for a loop. So I gave up on that. Um, so I had to move again because the place I moved to, the lady put up a for sale sign as soon as I moved in. So that was another worry. It was a hard struggle for me. Um, in 2007, I moved to Peekskill, New York, and once again, another journey. Some more problems with the baby daddy and custody and child support and all that stuff. I remarried and it didn't work out. But I kept getting bigger and bigger. And at this time, when I was in the shelter, I was going for mental health. I've been realizing for a long time that I suffer from depression and post-traumatic stress. I was raped and molested as a young child up into my teenage years, and I suffer all kinds of abuse from my older father. I had a daughter when I was 21. So anyway, I felt as though that I had to get my mental straight in order to lose the weight, because I finally realized the reason why I was gaining weight. Not just because I love the taste of food, but I was using food as my security. And that's why all my life, my weight would go up and down, up and down. And finally, the doctor told me if my weight keeps going up and down, I can be headed for a heart attack. It's strenuous on my heart. So I say, okay, I got to buckle down. I have two little ones here, and I need to get my life straight here. But I kept on gaining weight and gaining weight. And my psychiatrist said that she was very worried about my health and that my physical health could not wait for my mental health to get ready. So I decided to do it again, but this time instead of going to the hospital I went to before, I decided to go to a new hospital and I decided to do some research on it. So, I did some research on Dr. Rosalind Mitchell. He was in the forefront of the gastro bypass surgery. And I noticed that he did a new surgery that I didn't know of, which is called the doudamen switch. It's a more invasive gastro bypass. And I said, well, that's the thing for me because, one, I was afraid that I might go back to my old habits of eating for security. I use fat as a protection. I wanted to make myself unattractable to men because I was afraid of being raped again. So, that took about a year or so. I decided that I couldn't lose the weight at home, and I seen on TV, on TLC, Brookhaven. So I decided to go there, which was very difficult because me and my children are very close, and that means leaving them for 3 months. And then the more difficult part was leaving them 3 months with their dad, you know. So I lost 100 pounds at Brookhaven. Oh, I didn't even tell you how much I weighed. When I went to Dr. Rosalind, I was a little over 600 pounds. I think I was less than 620, but more than 605 or 610. So, and that was a shocker. It was a shocker when I reached 500. It was a shocker when I was at 400. It was a shocker at 300. It's always a shocker, and I keep saying I'm not going to gain no more, but I kept gaining and gaining and gaining. And so, before I went to Brookhaven, what really pushed me to do it is that even though I suffer from depression, I met death. And I had got a blood infection from just a small cut on the back of my ankle. And it was a strep blood infection, and I nearly died. And it happened to me twice. Like 2 months after the first incident, I got sick again. And I decided that at that moment I knew I wanted to live. And I wanted to see my children and my grandchildren grow up. So I went to Brookhaven, which was, like I said before, it was very difficult for me. But I lost 100 pounds and I was happy. Now, my doctor said all I had to do was lose 50. So I said I lost 100 and I'm doing really great, you know? So, when I got to him, he was like, okay, I need you to lose another 50 pounds. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm back home. And things started erupting again with my children's father. So I was like, with this stress, I don't know if I can do it. And plus, the little attention I was getting was making me a little scared. So I was like, look, doc, I need to get this done. And so I pushed forward in 2012. May 15th, I never forget that day. I I went to Lenox Hill Hospital and had my surgery and woke up. I guess I had these big idea that, oh, I'm going to have surgery and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk out and everything was going to be fine. And I was like, oh, it's a little circle surgery. I had 3 C-sections. Oh, it's a walk in the park. Little did I know, because I grew so big, I never really slept on my back before. I would sleep sitting up and laying on that table for 3 hours. My back muscles depleted. So you can know, to my surprise, when I could hardly get up and the excruciating pain I was in, how upsetting that was. But that wasn't the end of it. My kidneys started to go into failure because my back muscles were using, my kidneys was using my back muscles. So that was another worry. And I left my children with a family friend, and I needed to get back to them. And so I did that, and I was determined that I was going to get up out of that hospital as soon as I can. So I did everything. I exercised as much as I could, and I had physical therapy there. And then I went home and it struggled, and it's been a lot. And then plus I gained 100 pounds in the hospital because, like I said, my kidneys was going into failure. And my doctor didn't want me to have dialysis. He wanted my kidneys to try to work on their own. So they pumped me with this fluid. And yes, I gained 100 pounds in the hospital. So I was right back at 600, 598, something like that. And I was devastated. But before I left the hospital, I lost 125 pounds. And that was in 2.5 weeks. And I kept going to the doctors, and I kept seeing my weight loss. And I would lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 50 pounds. So as it went along, it got less and less. It was 50 pounds, and then went down to 15 and 10, and now I'm averaging between 10 and 15 pounds every 2 weeks. So this past week on Monday, I went to the doctor and I weighed 383 pounds. That's a lot, from 600 in a year's time. And with the surgery, it was only in a few months' time. So, but I still have issues about eating because oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I had an obstruction. So, caca started to come out my mouth. So that alone, when you have to get your stomach pumped, will definitely scare you not to eat. So anyway, I'm having a lot of extra skin. As you can see there, see. Bye-bye. Waving. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. On my arms and my, I don't know what you call this. I don't know. Breast, back breast, side breast. And my stomach area. Oh my God. And my legs. Could you imagine? all the extra skin. If I believe if I have the surgery to remove the extra skin, it would be about between 50 and 75 pounds of skin. So anyway, I'm feeling really, really good about myself. I met someone and I got married again, but I still have this fear of being raped again, but I can't go back. But I'm working through it in therapy. And one day I gotta tell you about my whole story of my life. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women out there that's been through the same things that I've been through. Molested, raped, beating, domestic violence, physical domestic violence, mental and emotional and financial domestic violence. So, yeah, but I look at myself and I know I am a strong woman because I survived a lot that things that make people go crazy and lose their mind. And I've seen death many times. And I thank God for everything. I'm going to try to do more videos. But this is my first official video. And I'm going to try to give you some after and before shots. I really never liked it to take pictures before. So you'll see, I have a few, maybe ID and some cameras shot pictures, and you can see my after and before shots. I got a long ways to go, but I'm hoping to do my extra skin surgery in 2013 in January. So you guys say a prayer for me, and I just want to thank everybody for sharing this incredible, incredible journey. Life has its ups and downs and arounds and sideways. It's not about what you're going through the ride. It's how you ride. You can ride and faint, pass out, fall out, or you can embrace your fear and say it's okay. It's okay for me to be afraid. Being afraid doesn't make you weak. Being afraid and embracing it and accepting that you are make you the strongest person on this planet. Okay, my name is Aisha, my Muslim name. My birth name is Frances Levon Carter, but I go by Aisha, and my darling husband calls me Queen, and I call myself Brown Eyes Beauty because that's the thing I like about myself is my eyes. So I'll be checking in with y'all later, and I hope you go with me on my journey, and I hope I can help someone who's in need of help like others have helped me.